Hello everyone, in this video we're going to go through the process of importing a shapefile in Google Earth. For the most part, importing a shapefile is very straightforward. All you really have to do is to drag and drop the main shapefile inside of the application. But you can also go under the File menu and then choose Import. Navigate to where you have your shapefile stored, and you may not see anything in the folder. This is because you also have to change the file type that Google Earth is going to look for. By default, this may be set to generic text, but if you click here, you're going to be able to choose Esri shapefile at the very top, just below generic text. So if I choose that, I'm going to see the shapefile in the folder. Now I can just select it and click on Open. Immediately, it's going to prompt me whether I want to apply a style template to the features that I imported. Now, in many cases, you may want to just import the features as quickly as possible without bothering with applying any templates. In those cases, just click on No. But if you want to apply a template, and also if you want to have Google Earth reference certain data fields that you may have within your shapefile, then you have to go through the process of applying a template. Now we're going to go into how we can create templates in a separate video, but for now I want to quickly go through the process of applying a template to the shapefile so that I can demonstrate to you what is the difference between the two options. So in this case, I'm going to click Yes. You have the option of creating a new template or using an existing template. Google Earth is going to detect whether you have any compatible templates, and it's going to list them here. So if you want to choose any one of the ones that you already have, simply click on Use Existing Template, and now you can select the template that you have already prepared. Still, if you want to make any edits to the template that you already have, make sure to also click on the Edit Selected Template box. But in this case, I want to create a brand new template. So I'm going to choose Create New Template and I'll press OK. A new dialog box will open up, and by default, we are in the Name tab. From here, we can tell Google Earth whether we wanted to reference a certain field within our dataset that it can use to set a name for each of the features that we have in this shapefile. And down here, we have a preview of our dataset. So this is just a preview that contains only 10 items. Your dataset may have hundreds or thousands of items, but this is just a preview of the first 10. So if we want to have Google Earth automatically name every feature in our dataset, we can choose a name field that Google Earth can reference. So from the drop-down menu here, we can see all of the fields that are present within this dataset. In this case, we have only one field called name, which I created when I was preparing the shapefile because I knew that this is the field that I want Google Earth to reference when I'm importing the shapefile into the application. So I'm going to choose the name field as the reference field. So Google Earth is going to take a look at the information that is present under this name field, is going to tag that information, and is going to use that to name every feature inside of this shapefile. The next tab is the color tab. From here, you can tell QGIS how to color all of the features that are present in this dataset. You can also prepare a field when you're creating a shapefile, and you can then reference that field from within Google Earth to apply a certain color to all of the features. In this case, we do not have a field prepared for this purpose, but if we did have one, then I would just set this to set color from field, and then it's going to allow me to reference the field that I want to use for coloring. For now, I just want to use a single color to apply to all of the features in the shapefile, so I'm going to choose the Use Single Color option, and I'm going to click on the box to the right. This is going to open up the color picker, and I'm going to choose some color and press OK. If you want Google Earth to apply random colors to each feature based on its own discretion, then you can also choose the Use Random Color options. Now, right next to the Color tab is the Icon tab. In this case, it is grayed out. This is because in our shapefile right now, we have only line features. Now, if we did have any points in the shapefile, this tab would be available to us. And from there, we will be able to automatically apply a certain icon style to any point that we have in our shapefile. And finally, we have the Height tab. From here, we have two options: clamp features to ground and set height from field. If you want to have Google Earth apply the features directly on the ground and have them stick to the ground, then just leave this at clamp features to ground. And this is the option that I use in almost all cases. But if you want for Google Earth to apply a certain elevation to your features by referencing a height field that is embedded within the dataset, then you can choose the set height from field. And then you're going to have the option to reference a certain field that Google Earth will extract the height data from and then apply it to the features. In this case, I want to simply clamp the features to the ground, so this is the option that I'm going to choose. And with that done, all we have to do is to press OK. Now we're going to be prompted to save this style as a template, so simply navigate to some place where you want to save the template to and just give it a name. I'm going to call this lines and press on save. Now the shapefile was imported and we can see it under our temporary places. It's not being displayed in the viewport because we have to check on the visibility, so I'm going to click on the box to the left and now we can see our lines. I'm going to expand this folder just so I can double check to see if Google Earth applied the names to each of the features that I have in the shapefile, and we can see that it did that just by referencing the name field that I specified. Now I want to go through this entire importing process once again, but we're going to do it differently this time, and we're also not going to apply a style template to the shapefile. So I'm going to right click on this folder and I'm going to choose to delete it, and it's going to prompt me if I really want to delete it. I'll press OK. Now, instead of going under the file menu and under import, I'm going to go directly to the folder where my shapefile is located. And we can see the shapefile here. It's called forestry.shp. Now, notice that this shapefile comes with a few complementary files. So the .shp file is the main file, and all of these other 4 files are complementary to this .shp main file. It's very important to remember to always keep all of these files together with the main file. If you move the main file somewhere else without moving all of these other files with it, then when you try to open it in Google Earth or in any other GIS application, they're not going to be able to open it because the complementary files are what carry the information for the main file, such as the location of the features and their orientation. So the GIS applications are not going to be able to read a shapefile without these complementary files. So again, you must remember to always keep these files together in the same folder because they're referencing each other. Now with that said, all you have to do to import the shapefile is to grab the main.shp file and simply drag and drop it in Google Earth. Now as soon as you do that, it's going to prompt you whether you want to apply a style template to the features that you imported. This time we're going to say no. And the features are going to be imported, and again they're under our temporary places. I'm going to toggle the visibility for this folder, and you can see that now it just applied a default style to all of these features. Also, if I were to expand this folder, we will see that no names were applied to the features. This is because we did not specify any field that Google Earth can reference to name all of these features. But if I were to click on any of these features, we can see that the name field and the information under the name field is still embedded within the features. It's just that we did not make any use of it in order to have Google Earth apply this information to the actual names of each of these features under the places list here. And with that said, this just about covers it for importing shapefiles inside of Google Earth. Thank you for watching and see you in the next session.